What is up, everybody? That's here, and today I'm back doing more Patreon VGC Regulation G team fixing. Today we're busting out a team that has one of my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite restricteds of all time, and that's Reshiram. Going way back when, Reshiram has always been a staple on my channel, so I'm super happy to do a team fixing guide for today. If we take a look at the team that was submitted right here, this is going to be an AV Reshiram that we're going to be fixing. The idea for this team is to use dual screens with things like Grimmsnarl, a little bit of fake out / terrain support from a Rillaboom, and then go for speed control with things like Tornadus and Regieleki, while being able to close out and deal with problematic matchups like Terapagos with this Urshifu. Pretty cool team. If we check out the official team submission post, if there's a team that you guys want me to take a look at to fix in a video just like this one, this is Lance's post right here, but link to it in the description of this video. Lance basically says their two favorite restricteds are Ho-Oh and Reshiram. They've already made a Ho-Oh team, so they're up to Reshiram right now. They really took inspiration from a Reshiram team that I built back in Series 10 on Sword and Shield that utilized like Psy-Siege Reshiram, which is another really cool set. I actually almost want to use that here just because it allows you to have the access of Protect while still getting the Spadef boost, so you can do a little bit more. Your Reshiram isn't like locked in as much and susceptible to as many fake outs with that sort of team, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We're probably going to do that. I think I'm just going to keep the AV because the AV is a solid item on it, but they wanted my advice and they said I could change anything but the Reshiram. So again, if you guys have any teams you guys want to submit, think about checking out the Patreon post right here. Even the lowest tier gets access to this full post where I'm going to try and do my very best to fix all the teams that are submitted. All you need is a Pokepaste. You don't need a rental. It can even just be an idea. You can say, I want to use Terapagos and Mind Shower. I want to use Toxicroak and Kyogre. And you can just leave a comment there, and I'll do my absolute best to make it work to the best of my ability. So getting back to this team, what we're going to be doing today is taking a look at what I like, talking about what I like and what I don't like, playing some games with the submitted team, trying to get a good understanding of what Lance was going for when they submitted it. And then from there, doing a fixing where I try and do my absolute best to tweak some of the EVs, change some of the Terras, and kind of get, try and give my opinion on what we could do to optimize this team. I'm assuming it's for close sheet because the idea of this team looks to be, you make them think this is an Urshi Dark, and that you have like, I don't know, like sunny, you do have the sunny day, but like you make them think this isn't Urshi Water and then you just never sunny day, but then why is sunny day on the team to enable the Reshiram with an Urshi Water? It's kind of weird. I'm assuming this is made for close sheet, but you know, we'll see. I'm going to play some games with it. I want to say I really like this Grimmsnarl set. Might want to make room for foul play here just because I think Kali Ice is going to be a hard matchup, noting that we have like Torn, Reshiram, Rilla, Lecky. I think Kali Ice is going to be almost an unwinnable matchup without foul play here. I don't really think we need the Spirit Break that much. But that being said, I think this team's really cool. I really like the Meadow Plate on the Rillaboom that was submitted. So, yeah, let's go play some games and see how it goes here. Alright, so our first game is going up against Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider can be a bit of a hard matchup. It looks like Shadow Rider, that looks to me like a potentially Sash Shadow Rider, Scarf Urshi, I'm assuming Water, AV Bolt. Don't know what item is on that Rilla, if it's going to be AV Bolt. Maybe it's Life Orb Bolt, AV Rilla with like Goggles and Sin. That seems very normal with like a Cloak Torn. Okay, so we can kind of guess what most of their items are going to be off this rip. So that means that I really do think that something like Grimm can be a solid lead here. I think Grimm can be a solid lead. I think I want to save my Lecky in the back. I don't mind leading Reshiram here. I know that sounds really weird, but like, what do you do if I just lead Reshiram? You just eat a Draco on your Ursh and you're just like really sad? Like that sounds good to me. We're going to close with our Lecky and then have our Torn for a repin. So it feels weird not using our Ursh here, but I really think that our Ursh and our Torn like clash really hard. So we see Torn in Sim. We know they have to bring Shadow out at some point. Whenever you're playing in a restricted format like this and you can get your opponent to not like have their restricted on the rip on the lead, you know they have to have it somewhere, which makes it really easy to guess what their last mon is. And I think it's either going to be Bolt or Urshi, and I think it's going to be Bolt because our restricted has a weakness to Bolt. So I think what we can do here is just leverage advantage the best that we can. We can Thunder Wave here, we could Spirit Break there, we can put up a Reflect, we can put up a Light Screen. I think it's hard to say what we want to do. All of these are really good options. I'm going to put up the Reflect first to block a knockoff, and I think I'm just going to Blue Flare here. If you'd like to Rain Dance, be my guest, but I don't need to lose any weird stats there. Did they go for Tailwind here? So I could have went a couple different things. Urshi Water, nice. Blue Flare, burn. Never lucky. All right, so in this turn right here, we're going to see them probably go something like a Rain Dance. I'm assuming Rain Dance Surging Strikes into my Grimm. And what I'm going to do is just go for a Thunder Wave. Do I just Thunder Wave Draco? I don't even think I KO that thing. I'm going to still Thunder Wave the Ursh, I think. And we just don't really have that many good options into it, you know? They're gonna Rain Dance, right? I guess I just Draco it, yeah. Water Terra, double dip. There's the Rain Dance. Here we go. Thunderwave. Survey says, you lucky. Let's go. And it doesn't KO because Reshiram's like still kind of weak. But now I think we're in an acceptable spot to where Grim does get that KO. You still have to go into this guy. I don't honestly think I care that much. I think I just pivot in my Torn and lose the Torn. We have a Cloak Torn on this team, I think. I kind of maybe want to use Rocky Helmet Torn. That'd be very nice here. Rocky Helmet Torn would kind of cook here, honestly. So let's see what they got going on here. Let's see if they get paralyzed again. Remember, their Surging Strikes will go through and crit through all of our Reflex here. Remember, their last Mon has to be Shadow Rider, right? Has to. Yep, it goes for the Surging Strikes. Absolutely acceptable. We're going to be able to trade here. Remember, that is their Terra down. So when I want to come in with my Reshiram again, we low-key check their Ensign, and we low-key check their Shadow Rider. So I'm going to come right in with the Reshiram, and we're going to be trying to get the Torn off the board so we can use Lecky to have Speed Control pin. I like this. This is fine. I think Draco there is good. I think Shadow Ball is fine. I think I'm going to go Shadow Ball there. I think I'm just going to Light Screen and Shadow Ball. I think that's absolutely acceptable in this situation. You can be sashed. It's look at this. Nothing. AV Reshiram busted. Bleak Wind Storm. I love Bleak Wind Storm. Never lucky speed drop, but that's fine. Oh, were you Specs? I think you might have actually been Specs. Yo, who would have thought that Shadow Rider, because like that actually did like a lot of damage. Like honestly, that did like a lot of damage. The Astral did like over 20% to a light screened up AV Reshiram. Those probably Specs, bro. Dude, just get folded out here. You can come with the Ensign here. I think we're fine. We just want to get this thing off the board. Honestly, we could realistically even go something like a Thunder Wave into it. But let's see. I think that probably Spirit Break is fine into it, and I don't mind dropping the Draco into it, but we don't need to. Yeah, I can drop a Draco into it. It's fine. You gotta fake out one, right? Bleak Wind again does not KO our Grim. Grim's gonna get a special attack drop on this guy unless they're cloaked. And they're not cloaked. And they are super thick. We are super intimidated though. So that being said, I think you just throw up a Thunder Wave here, and does that get the KO? I'll Draco it. It's fine. Regieleki takes the win here, I think. Honestly, knockoff no. We'll see what happens. Draco hits. Oh yeah, the para value. Cool. I was gonna say knockoff. That's a big knockoff. That was through a Reflect too. We're fine here. Reflex still up. Can't go for Thunder Waves. I think we're fine. We didn't even Terra. That's so nuts. I think we can just actually hard switch into Lecky and then bring in Reshiram and go for like an Earth Power and win the game. Knockoff's absolutely fine. Doesn't really matter. Great play by them going for a double knockoff there. And we just want this Grim to live to be able to re-reflect, I think, but we don't really need it to. It doesn't really matter. We might as well just double dip our Terra here and just Thunderbolt out. We can even protect, but like I think it's going to do enough damage to make it so Reshiram just wins. And it was no Citrus. Knockoff, we live because we're gamers, because we already lost our item. And that is going to be it. So we take this first game in, honestly, like a not great matchup. Like, you don't really want to fight, like, Shadow Rider. Well, it's not that you don't want to fight Shadow Rider. You don't want to fight Tornadus and Urshifu, right? Torn Ursh is actually hard for our team because we have, like, Sunny Day. Maybe we should have been utilizing Torn a little bit more. But at the same time, I feel it's hard to utilize, like, Sunny Day Torn. Yeah, I think this should honestly be a Rocky Helmet. You have the EV spread for it and everything. So maybe Rocky Helmet. That'd help us leverage out the matchup versus Urshi just a little bit more. But at the same time, like, I kind of like what we were doing here. We definitely checked the heck out of that Shadow Rider. Dude, Reshiram with that Shadow Ball. I was skeptical. Shadow Ball Reshiram be cooking out here. That was pretty good stuff. Let's go into another one and see if we can keep it going. So changes that we might want to make. Foul play on Grim would stop us from losing games and getting fake out cycled. Foul play against Grim would be really good against the Lunala too. Let's see. Let's go through the same exercise again about trying to guess their items based off what they have. So the way to do this little exercise is you want to lock in on things that have to have a specific item. Holy moly. This thing has to have the Hearthflame, or not the Hearthflame, the Sturdy Mask, right? The Rock Mask. And then you're thinking, what item is on this Ursh? It could be Sash if it's Urshi Dark. It could be Band if it's Urshi Dark. It's probably Scarf Urshi Water though, right? The Sinnoh Shock could have Rocky Helmet, Mental Herb, Citrus Berry, any of those items. I think that this Incineroar, I don't think that it's Goggles because it's on a double Grass Core, one with Follow Me. So I think it's probably Citrus and Sin, which means this is Rocky Helmet, which means this is AV, which means the Lunala is probably either Power Herb or Lefty. So let's go into the matchup with that in mind. It's a really, really good skill to try and like see what items they could be having here. So that being said, their options for beating all of our Tailwind Mons are just Trick Room. So if we don't Trick Room, we just go into full screens mode, we probably can get away with some wins. I'm going to go Grim Reshiram. I'm really hoping that's not Urshi Dark. I'm really hoping that it's not Urshi Dark. And I don't know if I want to bring Lecky. I think I might still bring my Torn. I still like the Mon. We just don't have like any damage on it at all. And we don't really want to bring Rilla. I guess I'll bring Art Urshi. I just don't really like this Rilla at all. I will bring Torn. I like the taunt on the Torn. So let's see what they got here. So in Sin, Lunala. Again, we're thinking this is citrus and either lefties or power herbs. So we kind of want to look around for what we think it could be. You could fake out here. You could fake out so many different things. I think I'm just going to Thunder Wave right here. And just hard pivot in my Ursh. Because if you're going for what? Like Trick Room, you can do that. I don't care. And if you're going for Meteor Beam, like Urshifu eats out like a champ, and you're not just gonna like Psychic. What are you gonna do? Like Psyshock my Reshiram on turn 1? Like I doubt, right? So fake out this slot, absolutely fine. Yep. Thunder Wave hits in the Lunala. What move are you going for, sir? Calm Mind. So it's gonna be that lefty set. So that means we can pivot in our Torn, go for a bunch of different things that would be able to deal with that. I can also just double into the Lunala and kind of deal with it. I guess I could even do like that. I could U-turn here and bring out our Torn and then weave it like a taunt and then come in. Like that's also another option. I also think like this probably just like low-key breaks it. We're going to be gamers. I want to see if they have Wisp and Sin, and I want to see if they have a weird defensive Terra on their Lunala. It's a lot harder to guess their Terras, especially this early on in the format, than it is to guess their items. The previous formats, the more common Terra for a Lunala would be something like Fairy, but you know, they're not going to do it. And this is where I was talking about that foul play. Be really, really nice to have foul play here. Foul play would have just finished him off easy peasy. Now they actually get a chance to do something, but we luckily get the parrot. But do you see the value that foul play would have brought to the table? I really want you to understand the value that it would have brought to the table. We're going to pop a Reflect here. And I think you can just pivot into Reshiram. You can even pivot into Torn. But like, we're not... This Lunala is starting to get out of control. And so you gotta watch out for it. Double pivot into Sinistcha Shot. I love that for you. Reshiram's in a good spot here. We blocked the Moongeist Beam. We put up the Reflect versus the Rilla. I think we're still fine here. I think we can actually... You could Light Screen if you want, but I think what I'm going to do is just Spirit Break the Lunala and try and like chip it that way. I really wish we had Heat Wave, but we don't. So I'm just going to go for... Actually, I don't know how much damage they take from Shadow Ball there. It's 4 times. What if I just like Thunder Waved the Sinistcha? Would that even be valuable? No, I'm going to Light Screen just in case. And I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball again. Try and cheese these. Oh, great play from them. They blocked the Shadow Ball and everything. Look at that. Were they playing around the potential Shadow Ball Reshiram? Are they gamers? Ugh, but you're seeing the value that foul play would bring to the table. Did they Tailwind me with their Lunala? That's so sick. I really like that. So right now we have dual screens up. They have a Tailwind up. We have Grassy Terrain up. We're just going to chill. I don't think there's like a rush to do anything weird right now. I think they thought I was going to Draco. That's why they did that. I think we can actually just keep on throwing Spirit Breaks there and just Blue Flare this slot. What do you do? Pivot? Like Life do? I don't really care. They're not even going back up to full yet. We're doing great damage to the Sinistcha Shot. We get a crit. I don't think we needed it. We get another pair on the Lunala. Very, very nice. We're trying to keep its special attack from getting out of control so we can just come in with Urshifu and pin it. And what we want to do here is get them to have to bring in the Rillaboom while their terrain's like not active. So if you bring in the Rillaboom here, that's great. So they have to show the Incin here, which is absolutely fine. I think we're like low-key good to just continually Spirit Break that thing until the cows come home. And I'm going to pivot in my Ursh here. Yep. If you want to fake out my Grim so I can't like break you, that'd be really good. Doesn't really matter that they pivot in the Rilla. So they pivoted the Rilla here, right? And you can go for the fake out, but your terrain's not active anymore, right? So I don't particularly care, and we're making you so weak that honestly we don't care all that much. So let's see what they're going to do here. And again, you cannot fake out me here and Woodhammer. So like you're going to have to lose this thing if you want to do that. I can even just pivot if I wanted to. They have one chance of Tailwind. I don't think that Rillabooms can ever outspeed this thing in a Tailwind, but they might. Actually, they probably do. So that means I have to go Thunder Wave there. And go for... I'm going to... Is this lefties? Yeah, it is lefties. I'll pull the trigger. Yep, fake out's fine. You can't do both. That's the thing. Like, and you're so weak that like, what are you gonna do? Moongeist beam me? Like, I'm not dead. I have a light screen up too. Yeah, okay, what are you going to do here? And they're not at full yet either. That was like the reason why that was still a fine play. So we're going to Spirit Break here and go for a Surging Strikes here. And we're going to get that guy low enough to where hopefully Reshiram can get the KO on it. But you're seeing the value that Grim really brings to this table here. Look at that damage. Oh, that's so much damage. Oh, that's so much damage. It's so nice. And if you ever get like hit with one more para, like there it is right there, you can try and get the KO here, but you take recoil in doing that. And then I just get to go into Reshiram, I think, and we're fine. I think we're fine. They're going to try to probably protect here and pivot in Sin. And I'm not really that afraid of anything else they're doing here. I think that as long as you're just throwing up Spirit Breaks into that guy like every single turn, like it's never going to matter. So in Sin is still at full. We can try and catch it with an Earth Power into that slot. I think I'm just going to nuke this thing. I think that's probably the best play that I have. Just getting Lunala off the board means in Sin Rilla shouldn't be able to break a Reshiram. Honestly, it shouldn't. And if you ever have to pivot out the Rilla to come back in and reactivate my terrain, yeah, awesome. Works for me. Please don't get a Protect. There we go. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Get a free Spirit Break out of the deal. Like, we take those all the way to the bank. Just have to try our best to leave Grim on the board long enough to re-get a Reflect, and we should be able to win the game because we have checks for both these guys. So Grim's just chilling over here. We've already paralyzed everything. We already got screens on the board. I'm just going to go for a Spirit Break here and just a Blue Flare up. Man, I love me some Reshiram. This mon is like so good. But you can see how you have to like massively skill diff like every single team that you play against with this mon. You really got to understand like the balance mechanics and like the speed tiers to make the mon work correctly. And a lot of it really comes from being able to understand what your opponent's items are and what their common sets are. So we're going to see what they want to do. They have Fake Out up on both the mons, but like the fact that I have dual screens ticking, you can go for a Fake Out and like a Wood Hammer. Double Fake Out isn't it? I think I would have tried Fake Out and then like Wood Hammer crit the Grim so it couldn't go for a Reflect because now I just get a new Reflect up. And there's not really a way that you can break this Reshiram at all. So fresh Reflect. I guess if I PP out and miss every single one of my blue flares, that's bad. But, you know, you already Terra Hostilize the Lunala. This one should be pretty free. And we still have the Torn in the back, which isn't like a terrible mon. It'd be easier to utilize this Torn, I think, if we had a Rocky Helmet on it. Blue flare gets the KO, easy peasy. Do not care about the knockoff. Now you just do less damage for the rest of the game. And I think we can actually pivot out our Grim because I want to come in unintimidated so we can just speed things up. Doesn't really matter that we have to show our Torn. Go into Earth Power here. We have the right moves on this Reshiram as well. Earth Power is going to do decent damage. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so much damage. Don't even care. Long hair, don't care. No need to show any of these things, but I'll tailwind anyways. Just to flex, bro. Just to flex. That did a lot. And that wasn't Citrus. It must have been Goggles. Wow, surprise Goggles. But we take those wins all the way to the bank. We're 2-0 with Reshiram. All right, this is a pretty standard core that uses Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider, it's probably going to be Sash Shadow Rider, Scarf Chi-Yu. Oh, that's not Sash Shadow Rider because the Sash is right here. So Sash here, Scarf. Maybe this is Orb or Specs. Probably Specs, actually. Cloak here. Lefties AV, right? So if we know all those things, let's see how I want to play around it. If it's going to be Scarf. We don't really... I mean, honestly, the right way to beat that would be those two. Or even something just like as simple as like Grim. I think Grim just kind of puts a stop to a lot of what they're doing here. Grim Reshiram's not bad. I think I'm going to go Grim Reshiram. And I'm going to bring my Torn to stagger that speed control, and then use my Regieleki to have an additional layer of speed control that can help me close out their Dozo. I like that a lot. So here's Caloric Shadow. So Sash, Specs. They're going to go Fake Out. Again, can I please have Foul Play on this thing? That'd be so nice. Can I please just like have Foul Play? Terra? You going to go Terra? If they go Ghost Terra, I don't think Shadow Ball just gets the KO. Like, I don't think Shadow Ball rips the KO here. Fairy Terra. Okay, absolutely fine. Draining Kiss. Fake Out my Grim. You fake out, you Draining Kiss that one. That's so weird. Okay. That should be fine, all things considered. We can light screen up over this. They have to expect the light screen. They have Protect. I'm going to go Thunder Wave here. And just try and close it with the Blue Flare. I know it's a really weird looking play. I don't think they Protect here, though. I do not think that they do. Yep. The Thunder Wave is the right play. I think that they're Spexed. And so you just take it out. They can't Protect. They did too much damage with that Draining Kiss. So here's some Sustain. We're going to be taking these. I can definitely just Terra here to make sure you can't Fake Out. So I'm going to do that because I want this Reflect. And then I'm going to go for the same Blue Flare into your Rilla. Fake Out's absolutely acceptable here. Still acceptable. I got my hazard up. Or I got my thing up here. I think all we need to do here is just go for a Thunder Wave there and a Blue Flare here. That was a great play from them, doubling into the Reshiram. They knew I was AV, judged by how well I ate that first move. I still thought they were going to go fake out Nuke the Grim, though. So we're going to Neuter the Mind Shout. They outspeed our Reshiram, and we chonk it out with our 4th resist. Blue Flare busted. You can take me out here. Oh, and the para busted value all the way to the bank, bro. Chi-Yu coming in hot. This is their last mon. It's going to be Scarf Chi-Yu. They'll be able to get some big KOs here. I think we can just put up, like, a light screen, though. I think light screen's fine. And then we're going to lose this mon. I think the right play would honestly just be to chunk the Mind Shout. We want to hit it with a guaranteed move if we can. So we don't need to go for, like, Draco. Oh, we just get the KO. It wasn't stashed. Whoa. Whoa. Weird. Very, very weird. You know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Is this the sash? It wasn't the Kali that was sash. That's so weird. So Spirit Break comes in. Good damage. And we just close it with a Lucky. Spirit Break, Thunderbolt, and that's going to be that. Pretty good game. I think that we got a good understanding of what the team is supposed to do. I think the team leans very, very nicely into the Grimmsnarl. I think the team leans very nicely into supporting the Reshiram. I will say I'm not locked. I'm not set on this Torn EV spread and moveset. I think this needs foul play. I think Urshi's cool. I think that if you had, like, I think Urshi Dark might even be better on this team, but at the same time, I think it's fine. Reshiram actually did a lot of good work, so I think we might be able to tweak some of the EVs, but it's okay. Rillaboom was okay. We didn't really need it, but it definitely was there in case we needed to pivot in for Urshi Waters, and Lucky's fine. It can be slightly optimized, maybe. First thing you want to do here is change all of your levels to 50, because EVs are slightly different at level 50 than they are at level 100, which is what the format is set for. All these EVs that they have are actually fine for both, but, you know, it's easier to notice that you're wasting points if they're level 100. So let's just start with this Torn. I think you'd solve a lot of your problems by going just Rocky Helmet Torn here, just because, like, this is already a Rocky Torn EV spread, and I understand that you actually want the slower Torn in a lot of situations, so you can go for those, like, slower Sunny Days. If they go Rain Dance, you go Sunny Day, and then you're like, I beat your Torn Ursh. So, like, I get that. If you want to keep that, that's absolutely fine. I just don't really like the Icy Wind and Tailwind combo with Taunt here without Protect. It's not, I'm not seeing the value here. Like, what are you taunting that you would be able to taunt with a Prankster that you wouldn't be able to? I guess what I'm trying to say is, if they have Trick Room, which is something that you'd like to taunt, they're going to go Redirection Trick Room. And the redirection would happen before your taunt. So, like, and you can't hit them with your teammate while still taunting, so it wouldn't really work. You could say you want to taunt Amoonguss, and to that I would say, fair. Amoonguss is something like worth taunting. Amoonguss is probably a bit of a problem for this team. I would probably look at the matchup just slightly differently, and instead of going, I need to taunt the Amoonguss, and I can't let it, like, do what it wants against me, I'd rather, honestly, just, like, lead, like, Grim Reshiram and side Thunder Wave my Reshiram than if I really wanted to play around Spore. That's something that I would do in that matchup. So I don't think you need taunt, and I think a lot of the times Amoongusses aren't really going to want to fight Torns anyways, just because you can get Bleak Winded, you can get Hurricane, you can get Air Slash. There's so many things that can happen. I think that, like, you might want to just think about using a different move in this situation. That being said, like, I don't know what other... I think that there's not really anything wrong with throwing Bleak Wind on here. It sucks to miss, right? But this move is so good. Even with, like, limited investment, this still double taps Ursh. And right now, you have, like, the biggest wet noodle Torn the world's, like, ever seen. I think by having Protect on this guy and having a Rocky Helmet, you can actually make it have a situation where you can elongate its presence on the board to stretch out the usefulness of that Tailwind. You still have the potential to drop their speeds with the Bleak Wind Storms, but now you can stretch out its, like, effectiveness on the game. So I would try this and let me know what you think. But that is a usable Torn EV spread. I don't think we need as much speed as you currently have. This much speed is really weird. I want to see what we get off this much speed. Tornadus. So we're going to run a couple calcs here. So we had 68 points with Nature. What is that getting? Because I think, like, Chi-Yu's, like, around a little bit less. So what are we getting? What would be we outspeeding? So we're way outspeeding, like, that's all you need right here to outspeed things like Calyrex Shadow off of a Bleak Wind. Like, they pivot in, or you get a Bleak Wind off to get a -1, or maybe like an Electro Web from a Regieleki. That's all you need. You only need 36 points Timid. You only need to get to 149. So it's like you could even, like, take that off, put the EVs to get to 149, almost there. And then just throw the rest like that. There's still a better way to do it. Yeah, we need to go timid. Sorry, I was just thinking. So 149, and I think you get to 150 because I think 150 would outspeed. If you get right there, first of all, it speed creeps other people that are doing stuff. What was full speed Chiyu's EV spread at level 50? 152, right? So 152, you want to be able to speed creep that. You want to outspeed creep Modest Chi. Oh, so that's where it is. It was 68. Hey, you know what? Look at me. Hey, you know what? It's been a while since I played this format, but I completely understand your thought process now. You're outspeeding Scarf Chi-Yu. Modest Scarf Chi-Yu. Hey, you know what? It's a good set. Hey, that's why, like, that's why we do this series, man. You kept me honest with this set. Cool. There's not a single thing I would change. Good EV spread right there. Right here's good. Yeah, I vibe with that. Speed creep Scarf Chi-Yu. Let's take a look at this. So this needs to be foul play. I think the Spirit Break is cool, but like you're gonna start seeing situations where like all the monsters are gonna be giving you problems, are like Kali Ice, Shadow Rider. You saw we fought Lunala. Foul play is fine right there. Makes so you can't get Intimidate cycled. You have a little bit of speed right there. You're putting your nature in your higher stat. Like I think everything's right here. It's a good Grim spread. I wouldn't really change anything. Urshi Water is a little bit weird. I'm not a big fan of Scarf Aqua Jet. I actually like to cut this for Rock Slide in a lot of situations. I really like to be able to go Scarf Rock Slide in some situations, especially like a game 3. And I don't dislike this EV spread here. You don't need that much attack on Urshi. I really still like the fact that you're going full speed because this lets you outspeed things like Scarf Shadow Rider. These are just extra points, and since Urshi has such a bloated HP stat, there's nothing really wrong with having your EVs like this. So I think if you're fine with it, that's fine. Fairy Terror Reshiram. I was skeptical about the Shadow Ball. I was going to say you might want to try like Weather Ball and have like a different weather, like a rain dance or something on the Torn. That's what I was going to go with the team when I first saw it. But I think you knocked out of a park. Good EVs here. You don't really need the 12. Like Reshiram doesn't have like you can actually get away with just like a 4/4 there and put the rest of these in HP because you're going to be getting an extra plus 1.5 to your AV set right there. And your defense doesn't really matter, so you don't need to put anything in there. Maxing out your HP might be just a little bit more valuable on Reshiram. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good set here. I don't think you need as much speed, though, and I actually want to check something. I want to check and see where our leftovers recovery would be for grassy terrain. Divide it by 16. I think you probably already did it. It's probably exactly what you had, but 192 divided by 16. All right, so we need to get to 192 in this HP stat, and like I said, we can take points out of here to do with as we wish. So we need to get to 192 there. I think that's what I had, right? Because this will let us restore the correct amount from every grassy terrain tick. Let's see. Yeah, 132. So where do we really want to be with this Reshiram? We only really need to be right there to outspeed Shadow Rider and Tailwind. This also lets us outspeed base 100s with an Electro Web and or Bleak Windstorm. And so I think you can even get up to like right there. This lets us outspeed Genies. This lets us outspeed like Lycanroc. And so that's where I would go with this thing. I would go right there. And then I would honestly just throw like the rest in like defense, because you have your Assault Vest doing a lot of your heavy lifting here. We also gave you a little bit more HP, so it's even going to make your Assault Vest even better. So that's where I would go. It sucks not having Heat Wave, but I don't think you really need it on this team. I think you're doing a pretty good job. Let's go look at the Rilla here. Rilla, I really like this set here. I like that you're weaving in between those like speed tiers. So 114 lets you outspeed those base 100s, even things like Chomp you're outspeeding. I don't think you need this in defense specifically. I don't see a reason to have the defense here. You could probably just put that straight into HP, but I guess you are optimizing for those HP recoveries off the Grassy Surge. This is fine. There's nothing really wrong with this Rilla set. You hit the speed tier out of the park, though. I like that a lot. I was going to say, you could even cut the Wood Hammer here for a Protect, or even like a knockoff, because you are not vested, but I like this. This is a good Rilla set. This is the item that boosts your grass attacks by 1.2. So it's a really, really good set, and it lets you just pin Urshi Water right off the rip. You might even want to think about double dipping grass here to make sure you guarantee can peel off things like Kyogres and Urshifus, but it's up to you. And for Regieleki, double dip electric. I liked it. I used it in one of the games. Thought about Ghost, but I think it's fine. Good moveset. Nothing really wrong with this. Regieleki's an underrated mon. It definitely fills the job that, like, if you don't need Prankster Dynamic Speed Control, you can bring this guy and do damage and have a little bit of speed control from your Electroweb. So I think that we made just a few subtle changes, but I do like them. And let's go play a few games and see how those changes come into play. Here we go. Shadow Rider wheezing right off the rip, huh? It's a good thing I don't need my abilities, bro. Yeah, I like Reshiram here. That Galade's actually really problematic. It's weird to see the Arch, but I don't think I'm afraid of it. I think I'm going to go Reshiram. I think I'm going to go Regieleki Reshiram. And as weird as it sounds, I still think I will go with Torn, because I think it's a great pivot in on most of those Mons. And if you ever don't have your Wheezing, I just get my Tailwind up. And that's for the last Mon. I think you got to go Ursh here, just because Ursh does check a lot of these things. It'd be nice to go Grim here, but that Wheezing is putting a lot of pressure on me. I wonder if they're going to lead like Talonflame Shadow Rider or something like Gallade Shadow Rider, and then pivot out the Gallade for the Wheezing and just try and sweep with like Spec Shadow Rider. So it's Wheezing Talonflame. If I just led with, bro, I just popped this, bro. Are you good? I could probably get away with the Volt Switch there too. I'll Volt Switch there. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go Volt Switch, and I'm gonna save the fact that I have this, because I don't think you're pivoting it in. I think I'm gonna just Earth Power here. I don't see a problem with that. What do you do, Protect? That's fine with me. I don't think I need to do anything weird with the Talonflame. They probably weren't expecting the Regieleki matchup. Awesome, that's great. So free damage on that Mon. Boom, free damage, breaks those sashes. I can come right in with my Ursh here and just pin this. Bam, Earth Power, big damage. Oh my gosh, critical hit. Kind of busted. I kind of wish that he was still dead, honestly, in my opinion. That would have been really nice. Because now they're going to go in with Talonflame and just pin me. Everybody hated that. I think we just get to lose this Mon here. I think what we want to do is, if we go Water Terra, we shouldn't die to an Astral. So we Surging Strikes there, and we can Shadow Ball there, and that should get the KO. So oh, no Tailwind. You're just dead. Works for me. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, bro. Flame body. Oh, he's cooking, bro. He do be cooking out here. And that is Spec Shadow Rider. I think it's absolutely fine. They're going to get KO'd right here. Easy peasy. Oh, it's Orb. No, there's a damage multiplier. It was probably modest Shadow Rider with the Orb. And so now we have two Mons, and we know that well, we don't know what it is back here, but I think Regieleki's good into most of them. I think I'm going to go with the Reshiram, because we can basically pin everything here. So we're just going to go Sunny Day. Blue Flare away. Here we go. Don't want a Draco. Sunny Day plus Blue Flare will get it. I mean, if you want to go with a Draco here, you probably won't be able to grind this guy out as easy as you might think. But, hey, it's Arch, bro. Like, Ghost Terror with the most coast to coast. Sunny Day, pop it. Pop it like it's hot. Electro Shot. Oh my gosh, that's fine. I don't really care. And we have Regieleki in the back, so we close it. So, pretty good first game. Yeah, I liked how we did that one. Brought the right monster, right situations. Wheezing is kind of dicey, but, you know, Reshiram has the skills to pay the bills. Miraidon plus that Basculegion form, the special attacker one. Weird. This team looks like it would have a Trick Room setter somewhere, but it doesn't. So we just have to respect the dynamic speed control from Torn. So if we want to go with our own Torn, that's not terrible. I don't really dislike that. We can also just allow them to do what they're going to do and weather the storm with our Grim, but I don't really like that either. I think Torn is good. I think Reshiram is viable. And then I'm looking at the Mons that we want in the back. Regieleki probably isn't as good as we think. I'm going to bring Ursh, and I'm going to bring Marillaboom to be able to take away the Miraidon's terrain. That's enough of a reason to do it. Here we go. So hands Miraidon. So we can just right off the rip say no thanks. I can go Fairy Terra here. I can pivot my Rilla and have a fake out pin and take away a lot of their value. I can just turn one Draco this thing. What are you gonna do? I can even, if I wanted to block a Volt Switch, I could just Protect here. But yeah, let's keep them honest here. We're keeping everyone honest. Because they might be going like, they might really think I can go fake out here. Stop the Torn from ever doing anything. Volt Switch that slot and win the game. Let's see how they want to play this. Should I have protected? Nope, they protected. Weird. Draco blocked, so they don't know how we're playing this yet. Supercell Slam. If I did protect, that would have been the coolest thing ever. By the way, that still did a crap ton of damage. So we have a fake out pin into this thing. I don't know if we really need to do anything with that, though. I think I'm just going to hard pivot into my Torn, get some speed control going, and I think, what are they going to switch into? I can Blue Flare that slot. It's fine. Yep. Oh, I'm so good at this game, bro. Sheesh. Oof. Yeah, it's a pretty obvious pivot there. Supercell Slam here. Great damage for you, but I get a free Tailwind out of it. They're going to go for a Protect. Let's see if they want to send the Miraidon back in. I will keep that slot honest. I took out your Amoonguss. I can trade with you pretty well. You've shown your last Mon. Honestly, like, Bleak Wind is really good here. And what are you going to do? Supercell Slam me again? Like, I guess I could just do Tailwind. There's nothing wrong with Tailwind here. Tailwind plus, like, what? I guess you would just blue flare here and try and stick fat damage. And you always just have to go blue flare knowing that like you're going to hit. You know what I mean? You just got to hit your moves. It's pretty important to hit your moves. Supercell slam, that move, swear it up, man. When are you going to miss that thing, bro? All right, let's see what they got here. That's banded Iron Hands, I think, by the way. I really do think that that's banded Iron Hands. So they haven't terastallized yet. So they're going to have Terra on this Miraidon. Woodhammer takes that. I'm trying to think of what I want to lock into. I don't mind locking in close combat. I think it's a little bit more damage. And if they want to pivot, Spike of Shield's fine, I don't care. Dunzo. Okay. Oof. Okay. All right, we got shots here, boys. Show me that Miraidon. Show me what you're working with, Miraidon. You got Electric Terra? You think I care? I do care. Don't hit me. Stop. Leave me alone. Here we go. Close combat. High horsepower. If you have Fairy Terra, I'm sad. I really like that. I chose to lock in with the close combat, knowing that like I didn't want to have to Surging Strikes this thing. So let's see what they're doing. I think that close combat, high horsepower gets it. Oh, unless they're Fairy Terra. Boo, bro. Never lucky. Never lucky. We outspeed, but I don't think we get it. Oof. And now they... Well, let's see what happens. High horsepower is 34%. You're lefties Miraidon. What a gamer. I think I still win. You have to double protect. Oh, wait, no, I'm dead. That was the last turn of Tailwind. Dang, dude. So close. Maybe I should have went Woodhammer instead of the high horsepower. Very close game, though. Very, very close. Lefties Miraidon was not on the bingo card. It was definitely not on the bingo card. So, they hit me with 2 Supercell slams from banded Iron Hands, dude. That was never lucky. All right, let's see. We have a standard-esque, like, aggro horse. This is going to be, like, coaching Scarf Urshi Water. AV here, probably Life Orb or Booster here with Citrus and Specs. It's not Scarf because Scarf's here, unless Sash is here. So just got to watch out for that sort of stuff. What is the problem with that? Maybe even come in here. I don't want to deal with Thunderclap into this guy. That's why I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like this here either. I guess that means I just go Lucky. Yeah, Lucky's a bit of a weird one. This is going to be a hard matchup. So you have Fake Out as a pin and like what? Blue Flare? Not Blue, I was going to say Heat Wave. We just go for a Protect here. See that Protect? See how nice it is to just have that as an option? It's kind of nice. I'm going to Blue Flare your Rillaboom. Definitely still go into the Blue Flare into the Rillaboom slot. You're going to use the Chiyu's own ability Beads of Ruin against it to be able to put pressure on the Rillaboom slot. You basically have to Fake Out my Reshiram, which means next turn we're going to be able to scout a little bit of these speed tiers, and then I'm going to be able to like Tailwind and then potentially go after this Chiyu slot, depending on what they want to do. I think we're in a fine spot here. We're not wasting our Terras. We're also throwing out Blue Flares into slots that like could pivot into threats like a Moongus, Kali Ice and stuff like that. So let's see what they want to do. They definitely could outspeed our Reshiram as well. So like if they wanted a U-turn, they would just die. Yep, you have to Fake Out here. Heat Wave is not going to do it. Not doing it. So you're just going to let me restore some health. I'm not afraid of a Heat Wave there. So I could Tailwind here. I do not need to Tailwind here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Bleak Wind here, and I'm going to Earth Power here, and I'm going to be able to chip this, put it within range for anything next turn, like a double tap of a Bleak Wind. I don't want to Tailwind yet unless I need to. There's the Bolt on the pivot. Cool. And I'm just going to double tap this thing. Note that I didn't also set my Sunny Day because I don't want to enable the Raging Bolt in case, you know, they didn't have stuff or anything like that. They didn't have their Photosynthesis, but you see how we missed the Bleak One on the Chiyu, but we would have gotten the KO on it. And it's Scarf Chiyu. So we can flip a Terra on here. The last one's going to be Kali Ice. I think what I'm going to do is just go for... I think I can actually get away with like Bleak Wind. You know what? I'm going to Protect here, and I'm going to pivot in my Grim, and then what I'm going to do is go Tailwind, enable the Grim to potentially like check the Chiyu. I don't need to just lose my Torn right here. There's no reason to just lose the Torn here, and I can set up a light screen. I like that a lot. And we're just chilling. Reshiram's getting some health back. We're dodging Dracos, like Urshi pivot, Urshi dark pivot. And of course we have our, what is it, move, whatever down. Electric Terra double dip, Draco, no thanks, bro. So you can Thunderclap here, do I care? Can't Thunderwave anything. I can Light Screen. I think I will Light Screen. Yeah, I'm gonna Light Screen. Can't Thunderwave either of those. Urshi Dark on this team is a little bit weird instead of Urshi Water. I was definitely expecting Urshi Water. I'm glad that I didn't bring my Rilla. So they didn't bring their Cali. So it's those two, Chi-Yu and Rilla. No Cali here. Sucker Punch is going to fail. Tried to Sucker Punch my Grim, bro. Not like this. Speed drop there. Nice. Thunderbolt. We did our job. We did our job. This guy's low. Chi-Yu's low. We are cooking. You don't need to waste this Regieleki, and as long as I think if we can save our Terra, or even if we can, like, what are you going to do to stop me here? I don't want to get Sucker Punched, right? But if I can make you blow a Draco into that slot, that's going to be really good. Are you Thunderbolting my Grim? Are you a gamer? Okay, he is going to Draco me. Cool. So then next turn, what they're going to do is go Sucker Punch Draco that slot. So we actually just do the same thing as just Protect there. Take out. If you get a double Protect, that's great, but we're just trying to block the Sucker. Because they know that's what we have. Rillaboom. Okay, eat a Foul Play on the pivot, bro. Double Protect, value. Value. Thunderbolt. A good play. Protect's now on cooldown. Yep. Try this. Very, very rough game. Don't Draco me. Don't do it. There it is. Awesome. Full Para, nice. So we have our Terra here, if we need it. We Protect here, Fairy Terra, Blue Flare there. And then, like, what? You send out, like, all your mons are really low. And if we don't let them just steal this Regieleki, I think we're in a good spot. I'm not going to let you, like, Thunderclap / like, steal it from me. Pivot in for Ursh. Bro, you're going to lose the Ursh? Works for me. Protect? Nice. I mean, they got our Terra out of it, but, like, that's fine. Get some healing out of that? Like, what are you going to do? Like, Thunderbolt my Reshiram? Like, I don't care. I don't care at all. Here's the Chi-Yu. We think this thing's Scarfed. So I think the right play is still just go for you have a Rillaboom at 70%. Nice, we outspeed. Cool. Didn't know for sure how that was going to go down. I mean, we are like full speed, but like still, you know what I mean. Draco into the slot. We got Sash. The Urshi's already down, so you have like a Rillaboom, and we just now you're too weak to do anything. Reshiram just checks your whole board. Whew, that was dicey, right? That was so hard. I think we're actually fine. You just go like Earth Power, and if we Protect here. I think their outplay here is Fake Out here and Thunderbolt there, and Crypt the Thunderbolt, and I'll let them do that. Honestly, they're paralyzed anyways. Easy peasy, bro. See how we force them to go through all those things, don't even give it to them at the end, and now we just go for the Blue Flare out. Really surprised to see no Calyrex, but at the end of the day, it's honestly like not that important. I don't think. Like, they should have went Calyrex, but hey, they were cooking something weird, right? They were cooking something weird. So we're gonna be able to take that win, and yeah, that is this team's fixing. I think we changed a little bit about the Torn set. I think adding Protect, you see we weaved in a lot of Protects, and we were able to elongate its presence on the board to be able to fish for more Bleak Winds. Bleak Winds also, I think it's still an upgrade over the Icy Wind. I know it sucks missing, but like it's just enough damage. Like you can't put pressure on Urshis and Rillas and stuff like that. Mons that would normally give this team a really hard time without the Bleak Wind, so you got to have it. That or Hurricane or Air Slash, but I think Bleak Wind's fine. I think the Foul Play is definitely an upgrade on the Grimmsnarl over something like Spirit Break. Allows you to really put pressure on those ghost types and not just auto-lose to Cali. Like, honestly, like this guy probably just locked out Cali from that last game. Urshifu, we added Rock Slide. Eevees were fine. It was a good set. This guy, good set. I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. We moved some of the Eevees around. Rillaboom, really like the Rillaboom set. You've done a lot of things right with it. Only thing you might want to change is actually even making this into a Grass Terra, so you can double dip that Grassy guy with the Meadow Plate boost and just go for big damage. And the Regieleki was fine. So thank you so much for submitting this team, Lance. If there is a team that you guys want to submit, think about checking out this team submission post. Even the lowest tier, the 2-hour tier, it's access to this post, all the rentals, all the tournaments we host, a bunch of other stuff is coming to Patreon this month, next month, every single month. So think about checking it out. I'm trying my best to make the Patreon a place where you'd be foolish to not at least be a part of like the $2 tier to get access to the Discord, access to all the stuff we're doing here for Reg G. If you guys want to be better players, there's a huge community of players. You guys see them at the end credits of every single video that are all trying to get better at VGC at the same time. So think about checking that out. And the very last thing I will say is please think about checking out the singles channel as well. All this work we're doing for Patreon, for Reg G, for all this stuff, I plan on trying to do it for singles as well, for Battle Stadium 3v3 singles, for 6v6 singles. We're going to have tournaments. Be doing some draft leagues relatively soon. We're uploading every single day on this channel. We're trying to get this channel to 500 subscribers before Christmas. So if you guys really like me and you don't have $2 to give to the Patreon, think about going to the singles channel, link in the description, dropping a sub on there. It's completely free. If you want to watch some of the videos, I would really appreciate it. We need to get this to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to get it like monetized and partnered on YouTube. So think about checking out the singles channel. This has been my baby. I've been really passionate about it recently. So think about checking out the singles channel. And yeah, don't forget to answer the question today. Let me know the Pokemon you want to see most in Regulation G once the format rolls over. And yeah, peace out, guys. I'll see you next time. And have a great rest of your day.